Now, Russia pounded Kyiv with missiles and drones overnight, killing at least 12 people in the biggest attack on the Ukrainian capital this year. The attack has drawn a rare rebuke from US President Donald Trump, who wrote on his Truth Social platform asking Vladimir Putin to just stop, and wrote, "Vladimir, stop." The Kyiv attack, it also wounded 90 people. Smashed buildings, set off fires here. Rescuers were still recovering bodies about 12 hours later. The attack was not necessary and the timing was very bad. This is what Donald Trump had to say.
I didn't like last night. I wasn't happy with it. And we're in the midst of talking peace and missiles were fired. And I was not happy with it. That's what I meant. And that's, what he said.
Trump also insisted he is putting a lot of pressure on Russia, and that's why Putin is talking right now. He added that significant progress had been made in Ukraine peace negotiations and that Russia has made a pretty big concession by stopping short of taking the whole country.
We're putting a lot of pressure on Russia, and Russia knows that, and some people that are close to it know, or he wouldn't be talking right now. The Prime Minister understands that better than anybody. He wouldn't be talking right now. He's talking, and we're putting a lot of pressure.
What concessions has Russia offered up thus far to get to the point where you're closer to peace?
Stopping the war, stopping taking the whole country. Pretty big concession.
Trump made the comments during an Oval Office meeting with Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre. Ukraine and much of Europe have fiercely pushed back against his statement, arguing that it's hardly a concession for Russia to pause its land grab. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte has said that Moscow now needs to move forward in negotiations and that the ball is now in the Russian court. After meeting with Trump in Washington, Rutte also said that huge steps have been taken in recent days in peace talks, but the NATO chief asserted that the United States and European nations collectively agree that Russia is a long-term threat.
We all agree in NATO that Russia is the long-term threat to NATO territory, to the whole of the Euro-Atlantic territory.
Now, for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report. Listen to this.
U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday met with the Norwegian Prime Minister at the White House, along with the former NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg. They discussed Ukraine, NATO, and of course trade. President Trump reiterated a call for a swift peace deal in Ukraine, reiterating the goal of ending the war within months after being reelected. Asked about placing sanctions against Russia, President Trump said he would rather, quote, answer that question in a week or so, but that things will happen if a deal isn't reached regarding the war in Ukraine. He criticized Ukraine's President Zelensky for being unwilling to compromise on Crimea, while calling on Russia to stop its strikes against Kyiv. The Norwegian Prime Minister reaffirmed Norway's support for Ukraine and urged U.S. leadership in peace efforts. Stoltenberg, for his part, emphasized NATO's unity, but Trump questioned the alliance's value to the United States. The meeting also touched on recent tariffs on Norwegian goods, which have been temporarily reduced. Both sides signal interest in deeper economic ties. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.